Good morning. Today I'm going to be sharing everything I eat in a day while pregnant. Right now I'm just on the cusp of the first trimester and the second trimester, and I'm feeling a lot better. And now I feel like all of my good intentions that I had for my diet I can now actually implement. So yeah, I've really been enjoying what I've been eating lately, and it feels very healthy and nourishing. So I'm excited to share it with you. I'll share more throughout the video about my actual diet, but I'm actually pretty hungry because I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm gonna go make breakfast first. The boys are putting the dishes away and I'm waiting for my pan to preheat. But in the meantime, I thought I'd share my daily quote. Never downgrade your husband to anyone, not to friends over coffee, not to your children, not to your parents, and of course not to your husband. It's a good one. Oh. I feel like I'm always talking about how I try to use minimal dishes, but basically I whisk the eggs in here, pour it in the pan, then quickly run over to the sink, rinse it out, bring it back over, and then put the eggs in. So I have 2 eggs, and then I add some of these microgreens from Costco, and then I just add some hot sauce. And this is like the first part of my breakfast. This is definitely not my whole breakfast. That would be crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go eat this while I do homeschool with Flo. Also, a very small update that's exciting to me. So I shared already that I put their new books here, and then their old books are all condensed right here. So it's just nice that everything has a spot now, because this helps you practice.
I love that.
Oh, you do? Oh, this looks like a fun one.
Yes. I want to do 2 fun pictures. Where does the A go? A head?
Mm-hmm. Also, on the subject of diet, I really have been eating all of the same meals lately for every meal, except dinner, because I'll switch up dinner for the family and I'll just eat whatever they're having. So this really is what I've been having every day for at least a week now. Also, really exciting because if you guys know, I rarely eat out. It's not a common occurrence for us. But I did talk to my husband, and I feel like right now I need more than just good old discipline to stay consistent with eating healthy and working out. Specifically working out is the harder one for me right now. I asked him if I challenge myself to work out every day and eat clean. Eat clean really just means trying to avoid sugar and high protein, which that really is easy for me because we don't really have sugar in the home or anything. But I was like, if I do those 2 things, could I use some of YouTube money to get kava on Saturdays? And he said yes. So I've been very strict on myself with it. I've been working out every day again. And with my diet, there's been times where I made the kids cookies the other day, my favorite cookies. But one of my things is no sugar. So I was really strong and avoided the cookies because I knew that if I had them, then I couldn't have my kava on Saturday. So it's working well so far. Also, I feel I don't know, maybe this isn't as exciting to you. Maybe my next meal will be more exciting. But I don't know, the microgreens just make it feel very healthy and exciting. I don't know. So then because of that, it makes eating healthy a lot more exciting. And when I think about would I rather have a couple pancakes right now or this? Well, this and including the rest of my breakfast. I'm I would rather have my healthy breakfast. Okay, I just finished my eggs and now I'm gonna go make the rest of my breakfast, which is the most exciting part to me. So let's go do that. I'm just gonna have my daughter bring this in while I make it, but it's quick. It'll be fine. Okay, so first I get a cup of Greek yogurt, which I am someone that loves Greek yogurt. I know some people don't like it, but I just get plain Greek yogurt. I feel this is probably more than a cup, but I mean, it's Greek yogurt. It's fine. Then I add some raspberries and blueberries, just like a handful of each. Then I add a little bit of walnuts and a little bit of pecans. And then I top it with goji berries, just like maybe 10. And a little bit of cacao nibs, which right now this is like a treat because cacao nibs are so expensive right now. Okay, so this is the finished bowl. This is the rest of my breakfast. And then after this is usually when I'll have my coffee.
What did you do it like?
Okay, you may not be able to tell, but our house is freezing today. It's like one of those random cooler days in the middle of lots of warm weather. So I really want my like hot coffee now. So I'm gonna go make that and take my vitamins really quick while Flo is finishing up this page. So this is another change that I'm making to my diet right now, is just to go back to having Americanos instead of a latte every day, because a latte adds like a lot of calories to your diet, but it really doesn't fill me up at all. Like I'd rather have actual food. So I've gone back to just having Americanos, and I feel like after like a few days I get used to it, and now I'm like excited for my Americano. And it saves money because I'm just, I don't know, I guess I'm like a snob about milk or something, but I just like can't have coffee without organic milk, which it doesn't make sense because if I go to a coffee shop, they're not using organic milk and I don't care. Or if I go to a friend's house, I don't think twice about it. But for some reason at home, I feel like I can taste a difference. And I don't know, I just can't do it for some reason. It definitely saves us money if we're not buying organic milk because it's so much more expensive than conventional milk. So it's like a double win, you know? Eat more food and stop paying for organic milk. I couldn't find my prenatals, which shows how I have not been taking them at all. But these are the prenatals I'm using this pregnancy. It's by Needed. I have a discount code for 20% off that I will leave down below. I love that these prenatals have methylfolate instead of folic acid, which is a lot better for you. And then they also have choline, which I try to get in eggs, but it's nice to have this as a backup. If you don't know what an Americano is, it's just a shot of espresso with hot water. So kind of just like your hot cup of coffee, but espresso instead of like brewed coffee. And I do 2 shots. I fill up the water. Okay, before I do that, this is my outfit for today. This dress is from New Flora. After homeschool, I'm going to have lunch, and that's when I'll talk more about like my thoughts behind pregnancy, weight gain, and all that. So okay, so my husband was on the phone in the kitchen, so I couldn't show you me making my lunch. But first, I've reheated my coffee. With Americanos, I tend to drink them all day, whereas my latte I could drink in like 5 minutes, which is kind of nice to have something to sip on all day. But then for my lunch, what I've been having lately is I'll have a lot of lettuce, and then I'll have a whole chicken breast, so probably about 5 or 6 ounces, and then potato. I have no idea how much. I don't measure it. I just kind of grab a handful of potato. So I already had all this prepped in the fridge. And then I also add like a little bit of salt, and I got a new salad dressing from, I'll go get it really quick. So I got these 2. This is the one that I got from Target in a recent video. And then I got these ones from Costco. And both of these brands are very clean brands. They're like avocado oil, no seed oils, or let's see, is there any sugars? This one's sweetened with date syrup. This one's sweetened with like no sweetener, like pear juice potentially. So yeah, they're both very clean. I typically just like make my own dressing by adding like apple cider vinegar and olive oil and salt and pepper and maybe a little bit of maple syrup. But I thought with like kind of going from the first trimester to wanting to be like more strict and clean, it would be a fun, exciting thing if I bought a store-bought salad dressing. So that's what I've been trying. Today I used this one. The next day I'll probably use this one. I've just been going like back and forth between them. So I also wanted to share today kind of my mindset towards weight gain in pregnancy. I don't know. I feel like within the crunchy community, you usually have 2 camps, and I guess there's 3 camps, but I feel like you usually have the people who are like, pregnancy is a time where you just need to like, I don't know, really be getting all the nutrients and focusing on your baby. So like eat whatever you feel like you should and gain tons of weight. Like I feel like I see that a lot in like crunchy community. Or on the flip side, you see people who like, I feel like don't gain even the recommended amount of weight. And I feel like that's not healthy either, which this is just, you know, my thoughts. So my experience with pregnancy weight gain is every pregnancy, and I've had, this will be my 5th pregnancy, 6th child because of twins, but every pregnancy I've gained around 40 to 45 pounds. And my goal this pregnancy is to just stay within the recommended range. So I would like to gain between 25 to 35 pounds. That's the recommended range for my BMI and body type and all that. It's not just for the purpose of not wanting to gain excess weight, you know, because it's not really fun gaining weight, but it's also because a lot of issues that come with pregnancy are made worse with extra. So one thing I had 2 pregnancies ago when I was pregnant with Draper, it's called SPD, symphysis pubis dysfunction or something like that. And it was like extremely painful. Just felt like insane pressure, you know. Yeah, I saw like a chiropractor and that kind of would help ease it a little bit, but not enough, and then it would just come back. I remember it was specifically horrible when I would be like putting pressure on one leg, or if I would like roll over in bed. It was like the worst pain. Honestly, even talking about it now, I'm like remembering it. I'm like, man, I forgot how bad that was. And then my next pregnancy, I like made a goal of like, I do not want to gain too much weight so fast. Because I feel like with Draper, I gained it kind of more in the front half than the latter. So then my next pregnancy, my last one with Sadler, my weight gain was a lot slower and I did not have that at all. Later on, I ended up like gaining the rest in the last trimester. So it was still around 40 to 45, which that's another whole story. But it did help SPD tremendously when my weight gain was a lot slower. And then the next part of that is with different like pelvic floor issues that can come with having babies and all that. Those issues I do not want to make any worse by gaining too much weight. So that's like another reason I would really like to gain just within the recommended range of 25 to 35, which I feel like when you talk about like pregnancy weight gain and like almost like restriction, I feel like it's like really bad topic. Like you should not talk about that. But at the end of the day, like my pregnancy with Sadler, when my weight gain was much slower, was so much better. I even just felt so much better the whole time until really the end. It's not just about like not wanting to gain weight because, you know, it's not fun, but it's also because of like the health issues that come with it of like, I had SPD really bad, pelvic floor issues that I don't want to make any worse. So that's my goal. I really just want to like eat a clean diet. I'm not trying to like lose weight or like eat minimal calories. It's more about just eating like clean foods and not overindulging in anything. My pregnancy with Draper, me and my husband got really into buying this like organic brand of ice cream called Alden's. And if you haven't had it, it's like the best store-bought ice cream you can get. It was almost like every weekend, me and my husband would order like 3 or 4 of like the like normal containers of ice cream and eat them all, just me and him. Oh, we'd usually watch Gold Rush while we ate them, and that would be like what we do on the weekends together when the kids are in bed. So I think that's why I gained weight a lot faster with Draper. While I do believe that like when you're pregnant, you should be making sure you're nourishing your body and nourishing the baby, I do just think that like carrying excess weight is also just not healthy. That's the approach I'm taking this time. In a few months, feel free to call me like a total hypocrite as I gain like more than ever or whatever, but that's my goal right now and that's my intention right now. It's only 1 o'clock and our friends are already over, so that's very exciting for the kids. And then probably just get stuff done around the house and then I'll update you when I eat again. I just finished my salad and I've just been sitting here responding to comments. I try to respond to everyone, but I've gotten a little behind lately. But there was one that made me laugh. I'm not trying to call you out, but I feel like you said in your New Year video that you weren't going to be buying any new clothes this year. I just responded to her, but I also wanted to tell you guys because some of you are probably thinking the same thing. So now I'm like, I don't know what they call it, like an affiliate for New Flora or I don't know, but they actually gifted me some clothes. And then anyone who uses my code, I like get paid for that. So then I can use that just to buy more clothes. Like it's not money that I get in my pocket. It's just store credit, which As someone who's loved New Flora for years, it's actually a dream come true. But I did want to be transparent that I have not bought any clothes this year. Actually, no, I did just buy like some undergarments because of my switch to like natural fibers. But I feel like that's like excusable. But as for just like fun clothes, I'm still on track for that. But I did tell her in my comment that I did buy something from the thrift store last week. And that's something I said I wouldn't do. So you can call me out for that one. But I just thought that was a funny comment. Also, anyone who uses my code, you can use it every month. And I'm so thankful for people using my code because, yeah, it's just a sweet gift as someone who is trying to stay on a strict budget this year. It is nice to still be able to like be gifted clothing, and yeah, it's just kind of like a dream come true for me. I shared in one of my videos, I think it was the New Year's one, about like my different goals for the new year. And one of my biggest goals with YouTube, I think I said in that video, like, I have some goals, but I'm not sharing. One of my biggest goals, which sounds so silly because it's not even money, was actually just New Flora. So this really is like a dream come true for me. But yeah, I'm really thankful to you guys who like use my link and support me. Because obviously like YouTube is a lot of work. It's little stuff like this that I feel like almost pays me back when I'm not like getting paid in physical money much. Anyways, I'm gonna go do laundry now. My husband is watching Gunsmoke with all the children right now. But I wanted to show you, I am gonna grab a snack on my way up. Yes, I was nervous there wasn't any more left. This is like my favorite treat when I'm eating really clean because it's like super clean. Those are all the ingredients. But it's also like really yummy. So I'm gonna eat this and drink my coffee and do laundry. That honestly sounds like such a nice afternoon.
We're building make those have leprosy.
Leprosy?
Yeah.
Where'd you learn it?
Paper book, and we learned it in our class.
In Sunday school. Most of the day I'll have electrolytes and lemon juice in my water, but at least once a day I add this liquid chlorophyll to my water. I have some type of condition that I've had since I was a child where I have low platelets in my blood. So every time I've had a baby, they test my blood, see that there's low platelets, and I've just always taken this liquid chlorophyll and they always end up reaching the level they're supposed to before birth. So I don't think it's a common issue, but if anyone else has low platelets, try taking liquid chlorophyll. So I just do like 1 squirt in my water a day. And it tastes like, it has a very subtle minty taste, like it's not gross at all. So this is it, my green water. This is one of those moments where I'm like, I could make some cookies right now. But then in my mind, I'm like, no, I don't want to risk my kava on Saturday. If any of you guys are like huge kava lovers, comment below what the best order from kava is. Because I've had it like maybe 3 or so times, but not enough to know like what the best thing is on the menu. So let me know, I'm really excited. Okay, I'm back. I have been just laying in bed, editing some like Instagram reels, but I'm gonna go make dinner now because I'm getting hungry and I'm sure everyone else is. It's about 5 o'clock. So I'm gonna show you a very simple dinner that I've been making lately because it's easy and yummy. So it's all in one cast iron. So I'm sure we all love that. I don't really measure anything for this recipe. I'm just gonna add the rest of the beef we have, which is maybe almost 2 pounds. This probably would not be enough like meat for my husband, but I keep extra meat in the fridge for him. So then he can like grab some if he needs more. I'm going to keep it simple and season it with salt, pepper, garlic, paprika, and that's it. Am I making chocolate bars? I'm not making any bars. Do you want me to make bars?
Yeah.
What kind?
The vanilla ones. I was talking about those ones.
You want me to make those?
Yeah.
Okay. I usually drain the grease at this point, but there's honestly not a ton, so I'm just gonna leave it. And then I add salsa, rice, and chicken broth. So it's kind of like a Mexican skillet. So again, I don't really measure anything. I just add maybe like a 1/2 cup of salsa. For my family, I added 2 cups of rice, and then since you need to double it, I know this is 4 cups, so I'm just gonna use the whole thing of this. You could also throw in like a can of beans or a can of corn. We just don't have any beans, and I'm currently avoiding corn. Okay, so now I'm just cooking it on medium-high until all the rice like thickens up, and then I'll like taste it again and season it again, and that's pretty much it. While that's cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and make my dessert for tonight.
Yeah.
I shared this in a recent video. It's not like the craziest thing in the world. But basically I just start with a cup of yogurt, and then I add a half scoop of my favorite protein powder. I've shared like the whey protein powder before, but this one is my favorite for adding to things like Greek yogurt or oatmeal. I don't think I would like this one just as a shake like I would the whey protein. So then I just mix that in. Then I add like a teaspoon of peanut butter because I feel like it makes it like a little bit more richer. Then I got these special chocolate chips just for me while I'm trying to avoid sugar. The kids have theirs. But these ones are sweet with coconut sugar. I just add like maybe 10 or so. And then I'm going to add some cacao nibs just for another chocolatey crunch. If you've never had cacao nibs, it's basically just unsweetened chocolate. So it doesn't taste sweet at all, but it's still like chocolate. And they're like crunchy too. So sometimes they're fun to add to a smoothie just for like a little crunchy bite in your smoothie. And then I put it in the freezer so that it's like nice and cold, kind of like frozen yogurt, but not really. We'll have dinner soon, and then usually after all the kids are in bed, my husband will stay up a little bit working, and then during that time, maybe we'll like watch the news together. Lately we've been watching The Count of Monte Cristo, but we finished it. Sad. It was so good. Like the new PBS series. So good. Obviously, like, I wish it was exactly like the book, but it was pretty close, so I was pretty happy. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's almost there. My husband wanted to have dinner a little later, so this has been sitting about 15 minutes. So this is it. Not a ton of beef. I mean, there's still almost 2 pounds, but it's definitely mostly rice, which I feel like is nice to stretch the meat for like me and the kids. But my husband will probably get more meat from the fridge. I'm gonna taste it and see if it needs any more salt or anything.
Mama.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I'm just gonna make my bowl really quick so you can kind of see what I eat today. And then I can put the camera up for dinner time. So this is my bowl. I got like a decent scoop of the rice and beef, and then topped it with a big dollop of Greek yogurt, a little avocado, and some cheese. And I'm just gonna go make everyone else's bowls, and then hopefully my husband will be ready. I'm all cleaned up, ready for bed. My husband is actually having like a late night with the kids. He's doing some work outside and they're playing with him. So I'm just gonna like do some work in bed. I need to do like some planning, respond to emails. I have my treat, so I'm gonna eat this. Thank you guys for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday. I'll see you in the next one.